Metal Driver here, doing another Dragon Ball review, but this is not an official Dragon Ball figure. This is made by a third-party Demonical fit, and this is the Bitter Awakening Super Saiyan Vegeta. And this is awesome because I missed out on the original. However, we are getting an official re-release really soon, so I don't know if the timing is that great on Demonical fit releasing this, but it's still nice. And I'm not going to complain about having another Vegeta. The packaging looks really cool, nice image on the side, some cool images on the back. But without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at Super Saiyan Vegeta. Here we have the Prince of Saiyans out of the packaging. We see all the details on the figure, which look pretty nice. He also comes with a ton of accessories that include these folding arms that you see here. You can detach his arms in order to attach the folding arms onto the pegs. Now, it can be a little tricky to put this on, but with enough finagling, you can get it right, and it looks pretty good on him. Other accessories that include several different hands, an energy blast for the final flash move, and he also comes with a hand that has a hole that's specific for the final flash, so that way he is holding the ball of energy, and 3 additional face sculpts, as well as a yellow aura effect for the Super Saiyan aura, so that is a nice piece that is included. Now, speaking of nice pieces, looking at the different face sculpts here, we get this smirking, confident look on Vegeta. The paint on the eyes and the lines on the face look really nice. The yellow looks good, it's not just one solid color. You do see some shading in there. Hopefully I'm catching that on camera. Also get a screaming face painted really well. And another screaming face where he is looking down. I'm assuming this is so that you can pose him with Android 19. Otherwise you can also pose him shooting a beam downwards, so that is nice. And the default face that's on the figure is this stern, angry look. Perfect for Vegeta. It painted well, just like the other face sculpts. The eyes look good, so do the lines on the face. And then looking at the rest of the hair. So not a brand new sculpt, especially since this is a third party. It is using the sculpt that we see with the original release version of Vegeta in this attire, so I'm fine with that. That looks nice. Good shading on the hair. Looking at the body, we see the Saiyan armor that he wore during the Android Saga and Cell Saga, and he also wore this in Dragon Ball Super. I do like the color choice here on this figure. This is nice. I like the shade of blue. Happy with how that looks. I also like this shade of yellow. Not too dark, not too bright. Detailing on the figure is pretty much what you would expect, because it is, I'm assuming it's reusing the body that we have seen with SH Figuarts. So nice sculpting all the way around. Here's a look at the back. That looks nice. Looks really good. Here's a look at the gloves. I don't think there's any shading here. If there is, it's really faint. Could just be the natural shadows. Here you see the legs, so it looks nice. Again, pretty much the same body parts that we have seen on this type of Vegeta, both with SH Figuarts and Demonical fit. And then we get some white boots that are all white, so these do not have the yellow tips. I saw some people complain when the images of this figure was first released, saying that that was inaccurate, but actually it isn't. Vegeta did have all white boots during the Android Saga, and when he went into the hyperbolic time chamber, he didn't have the tips until after he had exited the chamber, and Bulma gave him, Trunks, Goku, and Gohan the new Saiyan armor. So this is accurate to his bitter awakening of his Super Saiyan powers. Alright, looking at the articulation, the head is on a double ball joint, so it looks that high up and that far down. There's also, I think, a joint in the neck. Usually they do have that. Mine's a bit stiff, so I'm not going to force it. The shoulder goes that high up. It can rotate all the way around. There is a butterfly joint in there, so it has a pretty good range. In fact, if you did not want to pose him with the crossed arms, you could just do that with these arms and it'll still look pretty good. Alright, that's the best that I can do looking through the lens of my camera. Not too bad. In fact, this is actually what I do with some of my figures that don't come with those crossed arms. And as you see, he does have a bicep swivel and double jointed elbows. There is a hinge at the wrist and a ball joint that allows for a swivel. Got a ball joint at the upper diaphragm so he can go that far back, that far forward. He can twist slightly and pivot. And then there should be a ball joint at the waist, so crunches that far forward, and then go that far back, so a little bit stiff there. He can twist a little bit. The legs go that far out. They can go that high up, just be careful, because you could pop this out of the socket. I know I've had issues with this style of lower body, this 2.0 on some of the figure arts. There is a swivel at the thigh. He's got double jointed knees. Ankle goes that high up, that far down. There is ankle pivot and toe articulation. Unfortunately, I do not have the original Super Saiyan Vegeta from SH Figure Arts, but here he is next to the deep blue Vegeta from Demonical Fit, and one with a Super Saiyan head sculpt. And seeing these figures side by side, it really makes me appreciate the colors on the Bitter Awakening Vegeta. As I mentioned, I do not have the original version of this figure using this body mold. I said original, but technically it's not an original. That one was an updated version of Vegeta. Either way, I don't have that one, so it's nice to have this one in my collection, especially since I just started recollecting the Dragon Ball figures about 6 months ago, so I'm glad to have a Vegeta. Now, the only thing that I would say is that I think as of right now in Japan, the re-released version by SH Figure Arts was just released. So you may not be interested in this. I think the timing of this figure was a bit off by Demonical Fit. Would have been nice if they had given us like something else, maybe a Scouter Vegeta. So I can see you maybe passing this up and getting the official re-released version instead. I'm gonna end up getting that one too, so I can have both of these. So honestly, the only reason why you might want to get this over the re-released one is that this one comes with the Super Saiyan Aura effect, and he has the all-white boots, so you can have a Vegeta that depicts him from his fights with Android 19 and Android 18. But regardless, I like it, and it's a pretty cool figure. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. This is my third Dragon Ball related review. I plan on doing more in the future, so if you want to see those, stay tuned, and in the meantime, check out one of my previous Dragon Ball reviews, and I'll see you next time.